premium content from yesterday. Oh shit!
Everyone was like, "Oh, it's really good." That was
fine,
like,
everyone's
I was being
watching,
ironic. I wasn't singing fucking assholes. Not that bad. I was like, "Oh," and you're like, "Yeah, it's good." That I was like, knew I should have just done another bin joke.
Do you want to do a clap? Or I forget.
Hold on. Just
I can't clap. I'm holding my mic, so well.
Sneeze.
Go clap.
Yeah. That's what I did last week actually on Dreamcast years. I just shouted clap.
With Chris Scullion, we done 3, 2, 1, cunt.
That's true. We did.
That's quite
we
good.
could do that if you want.
Go for it.
Ready?
No, hold on.
No.
Okay. Let me know when you're recording.
Batman's working. Yeah, I'm good to go.
I'm recording
Yeah.
now.
Everyone recording? Okay.
Yes, I can see the waveform.
Cool. That is a good
Must
sign.
be
All right.
working.
3, 2, 1. Then okay.
I thought you were doing it then.
Hang on. No, sorry. We're live, aren't we? We can't do that. Let's just do a clap.
No,
Rich,
do
you
it.
Just cough. Can't say the C word.
Our audience.
Of course you can.
Dan has said it on.
Oh,
the
right.
last
I have said it on a podcast.
Okay.
Everyone's watching the state of play anyway, guys. Don't worry.
All right.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Can't.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Did everyone say it there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Proud and proud.
Good. So we're live. Everyone sounds all right.
I'm just checking
Here,
his stream,
everyone.
but mine is not working.
Let us know how that
Everyone
looks.
in the chat.
So
We
Dan,
told
do
the
you want me to introduce you, Dan, or do you want me to say and like pulling the strings in the background? He might chime in now and again. Is Dan?
I might. Yeah,
Or do
do
you
that.
want me to
That's fine.
full? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Broadcaster has indicated that this channel is intended for mature audiences. Start watching.
Definitely isn't that.
Right, we've got 2 minutes till this PlayStation thing starts.
Okay. And you've got the window there, Laurie, so you can see.
Yep, I am watching that.
Beautiful.
Half listening to you guys.
That is quite the skill.
Excuse me. The comments. What the fuck? Goku eating Jesus. What the fuck?
What is this from? Is this just
Great
It's on
comments
YouTube,
in
isn't it? It's just the sewer.
Goku eating Jesus?
People want me to pay premium for this. Are you
Did you
crazy?
say-
Wow.
Yeah, Jesus.
Hey, it comes with YouTube Music. Come on, $17.99 a month. It's worth it.
Jeez.
Family plan. My parents have got it. Jane and Andy are sorted, mate. This is the deal.
You get rid of those comments.
Shall we read the comments?
Don't laugh at my parents' names, Rich.
That's the way you said it. Like you don't know them. Fucking strangers. Like.
Oh, I know them.
Oh, I know them.
All too well.
We've got 7 viewers.
Sorry, Mum. Sorry, Rich's mum. I know you were watching.
The stream's about to start in 45 seconds, by the way. As in,
Okay. So, shall we start our stream? Are we ready, Dan?
born ready, mate.
Does somebody need to say something profound, though?
We always say something profound.
Was it
Laurie, say
something about the past to know about the future of games or something? Wasn't that what you went with?
Can't wait. Sucks.
Welcome to CrossCast episode 3, recorded live on the 6th of August 2020, the year of our Lord. I'm Ben, your host for today, and I'm joined by Laurie,
Hello.
Rich,
Hello.
Lewis,
Hello.
And somewhere, pulling the strings in the background, like the little puppeteer he is, our very own Geppetto, Danny Ward. How you doing, Dan?
Hello, boys. You okay? You're all well?
Yep.
Yeah.
Very
Geppetto.
well, thank you.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Likes a bit of wood.
It does like a bit of wood.
Okay.
Likes hanging about with little boys. Yeah, boys, how are we all? What are we drinking? Laurie, what you got on the go tonight?
I've got a Northern Monk hazy pale ale. It's quite nice. Quite nice. Yeah. It's nice on this balmy, warm evening to have a nice cold beer.
It is warm, isn't it? How warm is it where you are at the moment?
Let's have a look. Let's consult the watch. 24 degrees.
Nice 6.5%. So,
So it's rhubarb and custard flavoured beer.
yeah, milkshake pale ale. It's beautiful.
What the fuck?
Jesus.
It is beautiful.
What a
20
maverick.
quid a can.
He really is a maverick.
It's quite cheap as well.
How much can?
I think it was about £6.
Yeah, that's cheap.
That's cheap.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah,
that's
cheap.
three. That's three
It's
cans.
finished.
Lewis, what flavour diluting juice have you got on the go?
So I've not got diluting juice tonight, and it literally was 3 times the value of this can, which is £2. I have Cali Pale by Tiny Rebel. This isn't from the delivery I received on Monday. I
No.
quickly polished all of that off and had to jump to the shops today because can't drink diluting juice every week. But this is quite nice.
People will
Juicy
talk.
pale ale, only 5% though, Rich. Only 5%.
Not bad.
That tiny rebel thing you got, that was about 8 cans you had in that, wasn't it? And you got that about
well-
two days ago. Not that I'm counting. Lewis,
I think
on.
it was 7 cans and a glass,
but,
and it was on
Nice.
Monday. I mean, we're 4 days away from that now,
Okay.
and I'm on annual leave. I'm allowed.
Absolutely.
I'll allow it. What am I drinking? I am drinking. So my beer 52 delivery was full of like Dutch beer, and so I can't read any of the names. But I
Sure.
think this is Hopzig met ons gluten-free IPA.
Where were you
No
from there?
offense. That was just my normal accent. Moving on. Yes, good. Shall we talk about a bit of news, or shall we? Has the state of play started yet? Because we are recording this as
It
the
has.
PlayStation state of play. So what we're
It
going to do
has.
is, Laurie, you're
Hello.
going to be our man on the touchline, chiming in, keeping one eye on the PlayStation event and one eye on us, if that's okay. If you can do that.
Yep. Yep.
And just shout out Chris Kamara style if you see anything interesting. Just go,
Unbelievable, Ben!
Oh, Jeff, would you believe it?
What's
Call me
that?
Jeff. You
Yeah,
should call me
you
Jeff.
Jeff.
Okay.
Hefe. Jeff.
Jeff.
Right.
Andrew's not on the pod.
What's
Jeff.
I'm kind of putting the PlayStation controller up for you as well, Laurie, to like indicate that there is something to talk about. And at the moment, we're watching Crash Bandicoot, and I can confirm it is a Crash Bandicoot game.
Yeah.
It looks very nice, doesn't it? It looks nice. It looks.
It looks like a
Like
Crash
Philips
Bandicoot
is
game.
It's
It's a pity
Bandicoot,
about
like
it being Crash
PlayStation,
Bandicoot. Maybe
Is
they'll
it-
announce Crash
Is it
for
Crash
Smash. Yeah.
Bandicoot? Is it Crash Bandicoot 4, the one that they already announced?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
It's
Good.
very sharp and colourful and very pretty, but the gameplay looks identical to previous Crash games. But that's not a surprise considering how well the remakes sold. I think people clearly just wanted more of the same, and that's what they're going to get.
We're like crap Bandicoot.
Oh wow.
Are you? I take it you're not a fan of Crash then, Lewis? Because
It
you're
was-
partial to the odd 3D platform, right?
Yeah, it was never for me. It was never for me. Maybe that's some, deep-rooted hatred from the 90s. I don't like Crash Bandicoot, but no, I did try and play it. I was never running towards the camera and jumping over chasms or big holes or whatever you would. Yeah, not for me. Staunchly
No
against.
Banjo Kazooie, was it?
It was no Banjo-Kazooie.
What is?
Oh god. I have actually played Crash. I've never played Banjo though, so there we go. call myself a Nintendo fan.
I got fond memories of the first one. It was like the first game I played on the PS1, but I've never played any of the others. So.
No. I'm tempted to get that Insane trilogy, actually.
Yeah.
Dirty play. That's why I was asking Dan today about Spyro on Twitter, but he ignored me.
I did.
What
Sorry.
is it?
Only now showing Hitman. If anyone cares about Hitman, it looks very nice.
Boring.
Steve cares about Hitman, doesn't he?
He
Jeez.
does.
Of course he does.
Quick, dial in.
Over it.
It looks
Let's
stunning,
patch him in.
to be fair.
Oh, VR.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, VR mode. Okay.
So
Mhm.
these are all PS4 games that they're announcing right now, live on
I
air.
believe.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure. I don't think Hitman 3 is it?
This is a VR mode. This is.
Yeah, VR mode, but I'm sure it's a PS5 game. I'm not sure.
I will have to quantify.
All right, well, while you're quantifying, Lewis, talk to me about... Or should we get into the news? Do we need to do the news intro bit? Dan? Drop it.
Drop
Like it's
it.
hot.
No one cares about Hitman. No one bought that game anyway.
Tonight's headlines. PS5 rumour mill gets going. Halo Infinite is free to play. And Pikmin 3 Deluxe is coming to Switch. We all super excited about that.
Yeah.
Let's-
Yeah.
Let's start with Pikmin 3 because that's been a hot topic the last couple of days, hasn't it? Namely, well, Laurie, tell us what it is because you've been, you're our industry
Pikmin-
analyst.
Pikmin 3, it's a game where you're like some little man and you run around controlling Pikmin and trying to get them to get you back off the planet you've crash landed on or something. I'm not sure. But this is a
Are you
deluxe
reading that off the back of the box?
re-release. No, that's definitely what the game's about. It's a deluxe re-release of the 2013 Wii U classic. Can you call a classic a game if it was on the Wii U? Who knows? Yeah, it's a re-release of that. There's some extra content. I think there's a new prologue, a new epilogue. I think there's some new co-op modes. I think there's quite a lot of new content, but it is a full price release still, which some people are a bit miffed about in the way that people get miffed about things.
Oh, going over to the touchline, I can see the PlayStation controller being held aloft there. What news have we got, Dan?
It is the Braid. The anniversary edition has just been announced.
Oh.
So
Oh,
original
okay.
game was in 2008, and Braid anniversary edition is going to be coming out in 2021. I think this is Jonathan Blow, infamous puzzle game designer, really really popular, and also the creator of The Witness. I think so. There you go. That's the most gaming news I can give you, chaps. Back over to you in the studio.
Back over to us. Okay, so Pikmin 3. Let's pick that back up again.
If I could just interject here, for those who
Of course.
don't know what Pikmin is or can't even imagine what it looks like,
How would you describe it, Lewis? Can you think of a succinct way to describe
Okay.
it?
just some man chucking wee blobby radish things about. He
Perfect.
sees something, he chucks his radish at it, the radish picks it up and carts it off somewhere.
You're in someone's
Perfect.
garden, aren't you?
Yes.
Big garden.
Radai.
Radai, the plural. Is £50 fair though? $60, £50. Is it right? Rich, let's go to you first. How do you feel about that?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't like how they just took it off the Wii U store as well. Not that I have a Wii U, but they just took it off and then they can just charge a premium for the Switch version. And I mean, to be fair, I've not got much of an opinion on Pikmin because I've never played it. So maybe it's worth 60 quid, 50 quid. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I need convincing.
So
I've
you're
never played it.
more. Are you more bothered about the fact that they've taken it off the Wii U eShop and then put a premium price on it than the fact that they're If they hadn't have done the Wii U thing, would you have been alright with the premium price?
Maybe. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, you've got to start taking stuff off the Wii U store anyway, because it is a dead console. But yeah, it just seems like the timing was so perfect. Like it was almost the same day they announced it, and it's gone.
Did they think nobody would notice? That's the way it seems like.
Maybe
Just Nintendo being completely
Nintendo.
tone deaf. But
Yeah.
Laurie, what's your thoughts on the pricing of it?
I mean, if Nintendo fans don't like it, they should stop going out and buying new Super Mario Brothers at full price and
That's fair enough.
all the
Donkey
other
Kong.
games that
Yeah.
Donkey Kong, Tropical Freeze, and Donkey Kong came out more expensive on the Switch than it was originally on release on the Wii U. So, like, consumers are clearly telling Nintendo, yeah, you can do this. We don't mind. We'll still buy them in the millions. So, what are they going to do? Of course, they're going to release it at full price. Why would it be a budget discount game?
Okay, why was Captain Toad not a full price game? Because Laurie, you're a big fan, and I know Zach is a big fan of Captain Toad.
Yeah.
Why?
That's
Why?
a good question. I don't know. I suppose that is seen as a smaller experience. I suppose you can breeze through the main game in a couple of hours. It's kind of more of a spin-off, isn't it? It's more like Mario 3D World DLC, isn't it? Because that was
Yeah.
the mode in Mario. So I guess they kind of figured people would just.
I
see
suppose
it
it was also released on the 3DS, wasn't it, simultaneously? So maybe that had something to do with it.
Mm.
So it wasn't a massive disparity.
was-
Because I think
It was cheap when it came out on the Wii U as well, though.
Was it?
Originally? Yeah, it started life as a bit of a cheaper game.
poor old Toad.
Everyone should play it. It's cheaper than most games, and there's plenty of content in there.
I think Pikmin's definitely more of a marquee brand than Toad. I mean, again, people have been waiting how long now? When was the last Pikmin game?
Well, this
So
one
Whenever this came out, the same one.
Yeah,
again.
true.
the same game. It's still going to be waiting.
Yeah, that's enough for some people. I think they just, they know people have been like just dying for it. Not as much as Metroid, I know, but they'll pay whatever. I don't
I'm really
necessarily
excited
agree
to
with
play
it,
and I
but-
will be. I will get it straight away. Although it depends if PlayStation, because it's the 30th of October it comes out, which could be dangerously close to next gen consoles coming out. But I will definitely play this because I've always wanted to play a Pikmin game. They look like very right up my street.
I love it. The fact that Nintendo's going head to head with the big console launches with a re-release of Pikmin from 7 years ago.
And the Mario 64 re-release apparently.
Apparently,
They just don't care, do they? They just do their own thing. Just
whatever.
they probably didn't even realise there is a next gen console coming this year.
Lewis, are you going to get Pikmin?
I don't know. I was trying to think earlier on if I'd ever played it before. I seen Pete stuck a tweet up. I think I might have played the one on the GameCube. I rented it from Blockbuster. Either that or I dreamt I rented it from Blockbuster, which is up there with my dreaming of finishing fourth in Tetris 99. I think I'm not gonna get it initially anyway. I'll get it at some point potentially. Dan has his hand in the air.
Producer Dan, what are you saying?
Just a segue in here, that Pete's a lying bastard, and he had it on the GameCube, and we played it quite a bit at his house, so don't know what he's on about getting it from Blockbuster. He lived and breathed that game.
That was me.
Oh.
Lewis got it from
he'd
Blockbuster.
stuck a tweet up saying something about the game, and I'd said, "Oh, I think I played it, or I dreamt that I played it." It's those rock and roll dreams that I have. These, you know.
Well,
That's-
Pete's still
I
a
mean,
lying
when you
bastard.
live-
Dan out.
Yeah,
Fuck Pete.
condemned. So yeah, it sounds like we're a bit sort of 50-50 on it. I feel like I'm kind of with Laurie on this. I think people are prepared to pay £50 for it. That's what Nintendo are going to charge for it.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as that. People, vote with your wallets. If you're not interested, don't buy it, and then they'll stop doing it. But they never.
Look, someone said to me on Twitter that people seem to forget that Nintendo are a company and not some family friend of theirs.
Yeah,
Expect them
yeah.
to be nice to you all the time. It's like,
Yes. And you said if I could like this twice, I would.
it just really made me laugh.
Yeah. Brilliant. See, I follow your tweets, Laurie.
You do
Much.
religiously.
You
I'm
didn't see my dream
analysing
tweet,
the
though, did you?
analyst. No, I didn't. Sorry, I've got you blocked, mate. I'm on a spree this week. Let's move on to another top story from this week. Lewis, you popped this one in the news. PS5 rumor mill gets going. Talk to us about that.
So I'm just curious to see if there's. I mean, the state of play is on at the moment, and so there have been a few rumors kicking about. There is a long list on Push Square, of which I have grabbed a few. Now these might have already, by the time you listen to this, audio listeners may have been announced, but here are some that I thought looked interesting. Batman Gotham Knights, by Warner Brothers. I'm guessing it'll be by the same team who did the Arkham games, potentially if they bin the Batmobile, could be a good one.
Wonderful.
What's up next? I mean, we're all in on this one. This is Cast Iron cross-player game, and that is the Harry Potter RPG.
Yes, just for the music alone.
Just for the
I'll
music
be there.
alone.
Spelunky 2.
So that's just a rumor though, right?
These are just rumors at the moment. Spelunky 2.
Speaking of PlayStation-based rumors, Dan, we're going over to Dan again. What's happening? Dan, Laurie, talk to us. Live on the front lines. Call me Jeff. Don't forget.
So we're currently watching some gameplay footage of Spelunky 2. It looks very nice. You guys Spelunky fans?
Never played it.
Spelunky's probably my most played game on Vita. It was a brilliant little game on that system, and this looks really nice as well.
Yeah, it was really cool on Vita. Great game. Didn't we spoke
Is
about
it
that before?
about
Didn't we?
Bloody hard though.
Yeah,
Spelunking. Do you actually do spelunk in it, do you?
a little bit.
Yeah.
Just dressed up as
Shape
dog in this.
so.
It's quite cute.
It's a funny word, isn't it?
It is a weird way.
Spelunking.
Who Spelunk? I Spelunk.
Like,
Oh, you spelunked everywhere. Lewis. Sorry, back to the PS5 rumor.
Yeah, anyway, thanks for interrupting for that big pile of shit. Anyway, the Harry Potter RPG, which is a Cast Iron cross-player game. Silent Hills. I have never played a Silent Hills game. Don't
We
if
know a
any of
little
you
man
guys-
that has,
Mm.
don't we?
No.
I mean, this
Don't bring
was
us
the
it.
game that was originally lined up when they obviously released a PT demo, so I thought this was long cancelled. So I'm going to take that with a grain of salt. But
What does PT stand for? I've always wondered that. Too afraid to ask. I know, like
It's,
personal training, but I don't think that's
Playable trailer.
Yeah.
really.
Is what it stood for.
no way.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be
It's
something
like
paranormal
Poop
test or something.
something.
No, Kojima just being mysterious and
God. Okay. Anything else from the
Uh,
PS5 rumor
the-
mill?
The rumor mill, Uncharted 5 is the last one that I sort of picked out as potentially quite interesting.
Hmm.
I mean, is that a rumor? That's like saying there's going to be another Mario game, isn't it? How's that? Rumor?
I wonder with Uncharted if we see Uncharted 5s or if they're more like Lost Legacies and they just release a kind of 15-hour adventure every few years in the same engine. Because they've kind of said that's the way they want to go with game development, and I think people would probably prefer that, to be honest, because Uncharted games do go on a bit long, apart from Lost Legacy, which was perfect.
Interesting.
I
Okay.
think out of all those, Harry Potter for me.
Hey, but do you think that's going to be like a multiplayer online? We can all just make our own wizards and go around.
That'd be awesome. Am I like going in Harry Potter and
Yeah.
Ollivanders, getting your wand?
Hogwarts, go to our lessons together.
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds awful.
Beat up Malfoy.
Bit of homework.
You
Get
know,
that
Boy.
homework, that dark arts homework. Ah,
try and escape
Leviosa.
Hagrid.
If you saw.
Oh.
Sounds like Fire Emblem then, basically.
Basically, yeah.
So sounds
That's
awful.
why Lewis liked Fire Emblem.
Exactly, it was. And I did say it was letting me live my Harry Potter dream.
Christ.
You see,
Um,
the Stardew Valley guy, he was making a Wizards type Harry Potter game.
Yes.
Stardew
Oh,
Valley
yeah.
style.
But
I
we're
don't know what happened to that.
no, we're still doing it. We're still chipping away.
Mm.
Can't remember the name.
Sorry,
of it.
anyway.
Quite a cool name. Yes. Anyway, that's enough sidetracking. This whole episode is just sidetracking. Halo Infinite, free to play. Is that just the multiplayer that's free to play? The whole, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, I think free to play in 120 frames a second, apparently.
Wow. I mean, that's a lot of frames. What? How do we feel about that? Because it's weird. The kind of the Twitter echo chamber has been pretty damning of Microsoft, but that seems like another kind of Dad, he's holding up.
Sorry, boys. I'm just informing you there is a waifu on screen at the moment, and
Waifu, breath of the waifu. isn't
yeah,
it?
Breath of the
Breath of the
Waifu. Here we go.
What is it called?
I can't
You know
remember.
what it is?
Felix,
But literally everyone in the chat says anime waifu is Breath of the Waifu. So it's been, pretty much what we said. That's me, chaps. It looks a little bit like Breath of the Wild crossed with Fire Emblem, crossed with some sort of like Xenoblade-y kind of waifu anime, thingy.
I mean, it sounds like all the best Switch games combined
Yeah,
into one PlayStation.
basically an Andrew game. So
Happy days.
Dan out.
45 minutes. Dan.
Genshin Impact, apparently.
Was that Genshin Impact?
Genshin Impact. It's cool.
That's the one that was.
Of,
Yeah, there was a bit
of a
of
card me there.
uproar when that was released or like announced.
It does look very much like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Is it?
Seriously.
Is that where the uproar comes from?
Yeah, they were basically saying it was a complete rip
Mm.
of Breath of the Wild, but I think it looks pretty good.
Mm. Speaking of backlash and our friend of the show, Craig, Halo Infinite, free to play. Are we all going to jump into that?
Mm-hmm.
I would
Yes,
like them to add Craig as a playable character.
they have to now.
They have
Own
to.
it.
Why are
Don't
people?
upraise his graphics. Just keep him the way he is. The sort of static face, just like the sort of Nintendo 64 style. His face might change from this to
Yeah,
that, something like
It's
this.
just-
Something like
it's
that.
a bold stylistic choice for your next gen console, isn't it? To have N64 style graphics. Got to give them that. I've noticed there seems to be more this week. There seems to be even more anti-Xbox discourse on Twitter at the moment, and why? I can't put my finger on why that is. It can't just be post Craig, because this seems like a pretty consumer-friendly move.
Yeah.
Game Pass coming to everything and xCloud coming to everything seems consumer friendly. Why are they getting it in the neck from all corners? Laurie, you hate them. Tell us.
I don't hate them. I think they haven't shown anything yet that, and to be fair, Sony haven't done a great job with this either yet, but they haven't shown anything that looks like it's running on a Series X to its full potential. I think people are looking for something that really shows all the bells and whistles and just looks next gen. And I think their strategy of having to make games run on the Xbox One, which is like a 7-year-old console, is gonna. I think people think that's gonna hold them back, and I think people want to just see the killer app or just some really fancy ray tracing, flashy graphics. And then if they could do that as well as all this other stuff, I think all this other stuff is brilliant that Xbox are doing. But if they don't have a really fancy-looking, flashy game to be their kind of center tentpole thing,
That's the thing. Graphics always should not necessarily last, but if something's got good graphics but shit gameplay and shit story, it's a shite game. I always think back, and this is my own personal opinion, of Avatar. The film Avatar was like groundbreaking. Everyone was like, "Oh, it looks so good. It's amazing. It's amazing." It was shit. The story was like, it was 2.5 hours of fucking boredom.
Zero fucking cultural impact in that film. It's just like nothing. Nothing.
Gameplay and story should always come ahead for me. And I think that's one of the things why Nintendo still sort of punch above their way, I would say, because they're always a bit boring graphic.
Look, ultimately they do. That is what counts in the end. But at the start of a new generation, people want to see something new. They want to see a dual sense controller. They don't want to be told, "Oh, you can still use your controller from 7 years ago." Like, great, thanks, but show us something different. I think that's maybe where the issue is that Xbox are just going, yeah, it's kind of just a continuation. It can do some more fancy stuff, graphically, but, that's not really what's important. But I think people are so conditioned to expect, look at this big flashy, look at all these polygons, that we're not accustomed to just going, oh, cool, brilliant. Well, we'll carry on playing all these games and it'll be a bit more powerful and, 120 frames per second, Ultra HD, 4K, whatever. I don't know. It's a weird time to be a game.
I've seen interesting Digital Foundry analysis saying that they can do 120 frames, but don't expect the graphics to look better than current gen. It's the trade-off. If you want, you can have current gen graphics at 4K 120 frames, or you can have really fancy graphics at 30 frames. It's kind of you take your choice, really.
Yeah.
I think what's on screen just now is Bug Snacks. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Ooh.
Cult favourite.
PS5 Bug Snacks. I don't know if
This is the future. This is what the masses want.
This is what you want. Look at the graphics.
This is next gen.
That's a rip-off of Monkey Ball, that right there. What is that
Great
game?
I mean, going back on the Xbox anyway, I mean, I've always been more into the idea of the new toy, and like you said, with the new controller, in terms of the two consoles, the PlayStation 5 feels more like a traditional new console, whereas Xbox, like I said, is more of it's a continuation of our service, and I've always been more for that physical box than I have been games as a service. But for some reason, I'm not as bothered by the PlayStation. I'm much more in the Microsoft camp. I don't know why I've suddenly my whole attitude has shifted, but it has. I mean, I've been probably I mean, I've been seriously enamored with my Xbox One since I got it, but I'm just not that bothered. I mean, I can say, PlayStation's got better exclusives, I'm sure, but
Yeah.
I'm just not that bothered. I'm much happier to keep my Xbox, get the next Xbox. I don't know. I like what Microsoft's doing, whether it's Game Pass, whether it's xCloud, whether it's yeah. I don't
It's
know.
weird, they've all just diversified enough to almost there's no console war anymore because they're all providing completely different services now. They're
Very
all
much so.
targeting. Obviously, there's a big overlap with people like us that have to have everything,
Yeah.
but there is, a lot of them cater to completely different markets. Speaking of a different market, let's go over to Dan, who's live looking at the PlayStation event. What's happening there?
We're watching PlayStation VR, and it's a lightsaber VR game, and this looks absolutely brilliant. This is a cross between Beat Saber and Star Wars. Well, I'll say that it's just a Star Wars game.
Vader and what?
Yeah, Vader Immortal.
Why
I've
was there
seen. Go on.
No, I just gone.
No, go on. You.
No, you please,
Like I
please.
say, why
No,
was there
please,
not
up to
a
you.
lightsaber game to launch the VR? Every VR should just come with a lightsaber game.
Dreamcast.
Oh.
What? That's not even relevant.
right.
Rich
There was a
just
swirl on the door. And it looked like a
contractually
Dreamcast.
Ooh,
obliged.
control.
I interrupted you.
Control.
Control.
Yeah,
What's
some
this DLC for Control?
might
Dreamcast.
be.
It's going to be
There is
deeply
DLC too.
unsettling control.
There's a swirl on the door. Sony's
Yeah,
buying
I've seen it.
trade.
I've seen it there.
The game
Oh.
that beat Laurie.
Did you finish Control, Laurie? That Dan kindly.
No, it just was too. I don't know, too unpleasant to play.
Yeah, I think
Not
when
an
you
Xbox, is it?
when you've had a
You're
long
tired playing
no,
at
it's not.
night, it's very intense and just psychologically disturbing.
You just
I
want to
just
play
like-
Captain Toad.
Yeah, I just want. It's too bleak. I mean, yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's the Alan Wake expansion, and it just showed Alan Wake, I presume, at the end of it as well. That's quite interesting. So,
You bloody love Alan Wake, don't you, Dan?
oh, great game, brilliant game. Back over
Is
to you,
that going
boys.
to mean much to PlayStation people? Alan Wake? I don't.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Who knows? Maybe. What will mean something to PlayStation people is the fact that the DualSense controller has only got 4 to 5 hours battery life. Apparently, that's newsworthy. Lewis?
Apologies, it was a 4 to 5 hours longer battery life.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. So that means it's now got 6 or 7 hours battery life.
Yeah,
Fantastic stuff.
whatever that is.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yep, that's next gen right there. Silent Hills, we've talked about that. That was a little bit. And also, I just want to give a little bit of a shout out to We Are Doomed, which has been announced for Switch. Now, this is from Vertex Pop, the developers of Graceful Explosion Machine, which was, the best indie game to come out that wasn't Shovel Knight in the Switch's launch window. So keeping an eye on that. That's the first game they ever released, and they're putting it up on the Switch very soon. I think end of August. I don't have the doc open in front of me, but keep an eye out for that because they make very, very good games. And I can tell that none of you are excited about that. So let's move on to.
I'm watching the state of play, mate. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm not really listening to you.
It's all right. I'll just do this by myself. I've been playing. No. Let's go to Rich to find
Yes.
out what you've picked up and played.
Ooh. I've been playing Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which I am enjoying thoroughly. I do love me the remake trilogy. I'd say so far this is probably my least favourite, but still very good.
Is this the second or third one? I can't remember.
Third one.
Third one, right? Okay.
It feels like it's diminishing returns. I think with these remakes, the very first one just blew me away. Second one, yeah, bloody good. Third one, yeah, it's about on par. I'm not as big a fan of the setting now. It's in like Peru, and you're around all these villages. There's like NPCs everywhere, and for me, Tomb Raider should be about isolation. You're locked in a tomb or a cave, and
Yeah.
I don't
Or
like the fact she's near
dinosaurs.
peace now. Exactly, dinosaurs.
Yeah.
But she's always got like her mate with her as well, like Jonah, or his name is. That's the thing with the first game. She had like the whole Scooby gang with her, and to me that's not Tomb Raider. She shouldn't have people with her. But still, fantastic games. They look amazing. The deaths are brutal. It just plays bloody well nice. Yeah, so I'm only about maybe 3 or 4 hours in at the moment, but
Mm.
otherwise I've been playing Mad Max, which is fucking fantastic. Got that for $5.99 in the sale, and that's a
Wow.
really, really good game. Yeah,
Yeah, I was watching a video about that the other day. It did pique my interest. It looks cool.
Yeah.
Because who developed that?
that was what are they called again now? Shit, it's gone.
Sorry, I've put you on the spot.
Gone.
Nice.
Well, it wasn't Saber Interactive, was it? I think it might have been. I think. But
Same
yeah,
people that did NBA Playgrounds.
maybe. I don't know.
Crazy.
But yeah,
talent.
that game it draws heavily from Fury Road, which is like one of the best films ever made, and it just plays fantastic. The driving's amazing, the melee combat's awesome, it looks stunning, and the actual open world is quite breathtaking, which is quite hard to achieve for like a desert wasteland. They make it so interesting, and I don't know how they've done it, but it's a phenomenal game. I really, really, really love it.
How much did you say you paid for it?
$5.99. It's in like the Warner Brothers sale on the Xbox store.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Noted.
highly recommended.
Oh, look at that. Are you been playing anything else on EA Access since you're now their biggest fan?
I played what was it? Battle. Was it Battle? What's that one called? Is it Battlefield Hardline? Like the cops and robbers one?
Right.
It's
No
shit.
idea.
Didn't like it.
Okay.
Uninstalled it.
That's the beauty. See, that is the thing.
It's cool.
You've got no kind of incentive to stick with games. If they don't grab you within the first 5 minutes, you can just go, move
Right.
on, play the
I mean,
next one.
It's cool in the sense
Is
that you
not a bad thing.
exactly you definitely value content a lot more, or a lot less, should I say?
Yeah.
It's disposable now. You just flick through it. I don't know. Don't like this. You don't have the satisfaction of picking up a new game. It's cool, but it's a decent game in a sense of, obviously it's like a first-person shooter. You play as the cops, you play as the bad guys, and it plays out like an actual prestige TV show. So if you turn off the game and come back to it, it'll actually have a recap. So it'll be like previously on Hardline. It'll just be like a fucking montage of what happened.
Mm.
So
I mean,
it's kinda cool.
Dragon Quest XI does that, Lewis, if you like that sort of thing.
Really?
Well, what is the gameplay like Dragon Quest XI?
And
or
it's
is
a
it good?
Scottish guy that does it as well. Previously on Dragon Quest. The party, it's brilliant.
I thought you said
Come
a
on.
I thought you said a Scottish guy did it.
That was an accurate Scottish accent, you fucker.
That's got Scottish HBO. Shit.
All right, Lewis, what have you been playing?
So I've been, most of my time over the last little while has been spent playing Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, a game that I have waited, basically since it was released, to jump into and play. And ignoring its bugs, like you can be in a spaceship and your poncho will flap wildly as if there's some mental wind going through. Other than that, it's a brilliant game. I am loving my time with it. I think if you like Star Wars, you maybe be a bit more forgiving of its bugs, which it does have a couple, but just such a good time. Like I couldn't wait to build, change my lightsaber, put different skin on my robot. The writing's really funny. It's quite Star Wars-esque.
Skin on a robot.
Sorry, I mean like a cosmetic skin. Apologies.
Pervert.
It's not a Blade Runner
Absolute
game. It's not a Blade Runner game.
I don't know why I found that so fucking funny.
Just like the feel of flesh.
Just the way, yeah. It's just it's a really, really sort of fun time. And I would like to say, I might sort of tweet this out later on. So Dan, you played this. I don't know if any other guys have played this, but it's when you learn. So you've forgot your force powers. You've almost like shut yourself off from the force, and you relearn these certain powers. You go back in time to when the guy.
It only works when we say it to you, Laurie. Sorry. That's fine.
Wait, you go back to when you were a sort of child, a younger Padawan, and the character, the way it looks, facially looks almost identical to Adam from Switch Indie Fix.
Yeah. Amazing. Does the voice sound the same?
It doesn't, unfortunately. I'll take a screen cap and tweet that out.
Shit.
That's the first thing I thought. I was like, holy shit, that's Adam.
Fucking hell. Nah, Laurie's already tweeted it. It's got 5,000 likes. Too late. Never tell him.
Yeah, no, it's a really. I'm really, really enjoying my time with it.
I'm
How
hoping it
far
comes
are
to
you? How far are you into it? Do you know?
I am. No, maybe 5 hours or so.
How long is it?
I think it's around 20, maybe 15 to 20.
Okay, not too meaty.
So yeah, good. Really enjoying it.
And you're a bit of a Star Wars fan, aren't you? So
A little bit. Yeah.
just a wee bit.
Story's really good as well. The final act in that game's fantastic, and it's one of the rare games I think I played where it actually really satisfied me in terms of an ending. And it was almost like unanimously viewed that way. It wasn't very divisive. So, yeah, looking forward to you finishing it so we can talk about it.
Yeah. No. As soon as we finish this, I'm straight away hanging up and turning that on.
Yeah.
Wow.
Turn it on.
Pressure. All right. Well, that's probably quite a good segue. Speaking of finishing, I finished Spider-Man this week. Finished the main story at least. And quite recently we had the conversation about games that have made you cry, and I said I've never cried at a game. Rich, you looking at me like I'm dead.
It's a husk. You're an empty husk of a human.
And I didn't cry at this, but I was close. I did get some feels towards the end because the story, I don't know if it's just because I've never played a game with anything approaching realistic graphics before, but it was like watching a movie, and I was getting seriously caught up in the story and what was actually happening. Not to give anything away at all.
Oh my god! What are you going to be like when you play The Last of Us?
Oh mate, I'm going to be a mess. I'm almost afraid to play any of these like proper serious games. But yeah, I mean, I love that game. I've carried on playing it since finishing it, just because I want to play it, because it's just so fun to actually just play. And I want to discover more. I want to see all the side missions because they're also varied. I know, Laurie, you had kind of misgivings about the little puzzly bits, but I enjoy them just as a little, just a distraction from all the swinging around and beating people up. To be honest, I don't want to get too carried away. This is definitely one of my games of the generation.
Wow.
And it's literally the first game I've played on PlayStation. What have I been missing out on? God knows.
It's a great game, and I think the thing that makes it brilliant is the fact that it is gamey. Like a lot of the collectibles, like it's just got a really good way of ramping up the difficulty on the things that you want to collect. So in the first, like maybe I'd say 2 sections, or let's say the first half of the game, you can pretty much collect everything that you need to collect, and then it opens up again, and it like even more collectibles kind of appear, but it doesn't feel overwhelming. The fighting in it is, for my tastes, better than the Arkham trilogy. I think just the way it's so fluid. Some of the finishing moves are amazing, and I follow one of the artists for the game as well, one of the graphic designers, and there's people still discovering finishing moves now that he's put in the game that nobody's discovered before, or and he's like proper enjoying seeing people and retweeting it and going. It's a really gorgeous, well-made game that I've had so much fun with, and even just getting lost in that world is addictive, and it does feel real. It really genuinely feels like a breakthrough. So yeah, really excited. If they could do that game but with just announce more detail on the PS5, if that's Miles Morales, then yeah, I'm in 100%.
Yeah, it doesn't need much. I mean, I am close to calling it perfect.
Yeah,
no game is ever going to be completely perfect, but like I even think, Breath of the Wild I absolutely love, and it completely got me back into gaming. But there's no way I've never touched it after finishing the story. This, I was like, right, gonna go back, collect more stuff, do all the side missions, get them trophies. Nintendo, put achievements into your games, because it does make a difference. It does add longevity, and it does make you want to go back and see what else is available, rather than collect 900 Korok seeds and get a lump of shit. It's not on the part. And so it's
gold, mate. Come on.
This game is honestly pushing that for me in terms of an experience that I've absolutely loved. If it had have come at a time when I'd just had a barren spell of being out of gaming, and then I played this would be my favorite game of all time. I think Zelda has the advantage of being on new hardware and being a completely new experience to me, having not played games. But it's just perfect. I urge anyone, even if you haven't got a PlayStation, go and buy a PlayStation. Mark, I know you're listening. Buy. So Mark was there. I streamed this for about 3.5 hours on Friday night, and I was just going around doing side missions, and Mark was there just chatting away. And he's tempted. I can tell.
Yeah, you can get him. I was going to say as well, Brian Altano, when it first came out, kind of put a tweet out that really defined my experience with it. And he was like, because I think he's from New York natively, and he was like, I've stuck on like 90s New York rap, and I've like turned down the music in the game, and I've just been listening to that while I'm swinging through it. And he said it just because you can obviously get Spotify through your headphones or whatever it is. And he went, it just completely changed up the game for him. And I tried it, and I was smiling the whole time. It was so good.
Awesome.
Clinging onto like the edge of the Avengers Tower with like Nas just playing through your headphones is just something surreal.
That's actually probably my only thing that I think could have been better is the music. I think because it's all very epic and it all feels very kind of superhero-y. It would have been cool if they had some kind of gritty New York music, whether it's hip-hop, whether it's punk, something a bit more grounded in New York rather than feeling like Marvel-esque and, you know, I don't know. That's probably the only criticism, if anything, but fantastic game. Can't wait to get that platinum. All about that platinum, baby. I'm gunning for it.
I've got nothing constructive to add to this conversation other than is there a bit in the game where he sort of gets a bit of an attitude, so he starts wearing like a black shirt and just starts dancing around to jazz?
I'll dig on this.
Does that happen? Say walks in the street, clicking his fingers. Does that happen?
I hate that film. Hate it.
I don't understand that reference. But luckily, Dan is holding up the PlayStation controller. What have we got from State of Play?
Oh, fuck all! It's finished, and it finished on basically a 20-minute demo of Godfall, which looks really cool, like really interesting. But I think it's made by Gearbox. But yeah, just absolutely nothing. All done. That's stream done, chaps. I'll get a bit of a breakdown for you.
I was only half watching it, but that was kind of 40 minutes long. I think just over 40 minutes, and there was a lot in there, a lot of stuff covered in there. You think that this is a console at the end of its lifespan, and there's a lot of stuff for PlayStation 4 in early 21 as well, so they're still going to carry on supporting PS4 for a good while.
Yeah, they found out I got one.
Yeah, it's a lot of VR stuff and a couple of big hitters that are coming out on the PS5, but I still think it was quite light, as in there was more content for the games they were showing rather than previous state of plays or things like Directs. This was like almost like a treehouse for 5 or 6 games, so and there was a couple in there like shoehorned in, but yeah, I think the overwhelming will be didn't really show us anything too new, but they did say that.
Yeah, they did. To be fair, they did kind of outline what they're going to be showing, and they were very clear and very transparent in their announcement tweet. So Nintendo, take notes of that as well. But nothing along the lines of The Last of Us Part 2, which someone here has been playing.
Yes.
Who's that?
Me. Laurie.
Talk to us without any spoilers.
Oh, it's very hard to say anything about it. It's such a fantastic game. Like Ben, you are going to be an absolute
it's good
pieces playing it. I think what's most impressive about it, I think if I think back to Last of Us 1, it's another game you've not played yet, so I'll be careful what I say about that as well. But it's the setting of that is you're going around towns, cities, woodlandy bit. It's all quite similar and same. You can't go in many of the buildings. You're kind of walking through streets a lot of it. Whereas in this game, it's the same kind of linear game, but everywhere is so densely detailed. It's insane. It's incredible. Like every street you walk down, you can smash the windows of any shops and go in them, and you can explore. And they're all full of assets and things that people could play and never see them. And you think just how much work has gone into making this, like, I don't know, this bookshop full of books, or this library full of, it's full of so many things, and there's just such a recreation of a real world place that has just fallen to ruin. It's absolutely incredible. It's not a game like Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man is a very gamey game. It's just fun. The gameplay of it is very fun. Whereas in The Last of Us, the gameplay is you're on a scavenger hunt. You're looking for things, and you are dodging. You are stealth, and you are shooting people, and you're dodging zombies, and you're trying to or infected. But you're playing it for the story and the experience of existing in that world, and it's so well done. The story, I won't say anything about the story. I can see. I was very fortunate going into it. I was completely nothing had been spoiled for me going into it. So I'm really enjoying watching it all unfold, and I can see why there are lots of decisions in the story that are very interesting. Is what I'll say. But I absolutely love it. I just want to play it now as quickly as possible and get to the end because I'm utterly sort of compelled by it. I resent you guys for making me talk to you tonight, and when I could be playing it some more.
Wow!
I just want to finish it.
Lewis all over again.
Nice.
Glad to have you all here. Thanks so much.
It is a real landmark game, and I just cannot wait to see what Naughty Dog can do on PlayStation 5 because I just can't imagine a game looking better than this or being better made than this game. It's
I was
crazy.
going to say, is it the best looking game on PS4? Would you say?
I mean, I haven't.
that
Everyone
you've
says Ghost
played,
of Tsushima. I've not played that, but it's the most impressive. It's not so much how it looks, but it's just how detailed it is, how the design work of it, and it's the little things like the animations for everything. Like you walk through some environments, or you're walking through a town at the start, and it's kind of people going about their normal life. There's a few other bits in the game that are like that, and you can just sit back and just watch the animations that are playing out. And again, these are things that most people you could just run straight through it and just not hear anything, or you can hear people having conversations that you can tune in and you can listen to, and they'll have like a 10-minute conversation about things. It's just so insanely detailed. I just can't get over it. And it's like the way there's dogs that you can play with, and you can pick up a ball and throw the dog, and the way the dog is animated and runs around and reacts to you, it's just crazy. It's a real step up for what's possible in games, and that's what I think. It's stuff like that I'm really excited to see what next gen can deliver, rather than graphics. But it's just these simulations, and the fact that Naughty Dog are doing it on PlayStation 4 is amazing. Like, you would not believe some of the stuff in this game.
Does it make you sad playing it?
No.
Okay. It looks
No,
sad. It looks sad. For everything I've heard and everything I've seen of it, it looks like it would make me feel a bit weepy.
Yeah, it's an intense game. It's very dark. It's not, it's not a happy Nintendo type experience. Obviously, it's very dark and intense. I wouldn't say sad's the right word. It's kind of disturbing more maybe than sad.
Okay.
Unpleasant. It's unpleasant. It's like films like The Road and stuff, where it's just like this is not a pleasant watch, or like The Piano or thing, where you're confronting violence and very, very intense violence, and it's very unpleasant, and you're sort of forced to look at it square on and confront it and deal with it. And sometimes, well, I'm not even going to say anything. I won't say that.
Would Rich cry at it though? That's what we want to know, really.
I cried at the first one in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Just on the
really
loading
bad,
screen.
Yeah, shit. I was serious.
yeah, the
Close,
prologue is.
Oh my god.
Ben, can you stream the prologue or just when you play that? Obviously, you play the first one, but just that's what I think is most impressive about this. The storytelling is, I think, more complex than the first one. It's telling a much more interesting, detailed story, but the gameplay is largely unchanged from the first one. But it's the detail and the richness of the world and the characters and the sound effects as well in it. There's a bit whenever you upgrade your weapons, you have to put your guns down on a workbench, and I just swap between the guns, just put the different guns down and just listen to the sounds of putting them down on the workbench and just hearing the sound effects. It just like you'll see what I mean if you play it and you do it. You just like this it's on another level to any games you played on technical.
God. Sounds intense, but yeah, I need to play the first one first, and God knows when I get around to that. But yeah, it sounds fantastic, and it's quite at odds with the other game that you've been playing this week, and that is Paper Mario: The Origami King. Laurie.
Yep, I mean, if you want to listen to me talking about it at length with Nathan, we did a podcast about that, which is
plug.
Gone out. Yeah,
it's live on Patreon at the moment.
Oh, if that isn't a reason to subscribe to our Patreon, I don't know what is, frankly.
exactly. That's
but we talked about it at length. But basically, I really like it. I think it's a great game. I'm only playing it in kind of hour-long sessions with my son before he goes to bed. It's kind of his end of the day treat. It's what we do together. And so I'm not. I can see Nathan's complaint was about the battle system. It's very unnecessary. It's kind of interrupts the flow of the game. The main game is very much like a Zelda game. Like you're kind of running around an overworld, solving puzzles, finding secret areas, getting your way into temples, defeating bosses. But it's just the combat is this strange battle system. I don't know why they didn't just go with a conventional straight RPG system, just normal XP, hits, hit points, and all that kind of stuff. It's strange. You have to rearrange all the enemies are laid out on a board. You have to rearrange the board, shuffle them all around to get them in the right position, and then you can attack them. But once you've shuffled them around, you're so overpowered because you get damage boost.
1.5
you're so overpowered. You
damage. Sorry.
Thank you. You can take everyone out pretty much easily. I haven't lost any fights even when I don't arrange them. So
you haven't lost any fights?
No.
I've died. I have died a lot in this game.
Okay.
I think it has been overstated how easy this game is. So I've died in the overworld. I've died in the battles.
Really?
And I'm not even up to like the first boss yet.
Have you been collecting mushrooms?
Yes, I've done that because okay. So sorry to just go into your
No, it's fine.
your spiel here, but my big issue with it is that battle system. The fact that there's a timer. Like the thing I like about turn-based RPGs is the fact that you can just chill out and just enjoy it and just think about what you're doing. Whereas this has got like a 15-20 second timer at the start, depending on the size of the battle. You
get power-ups to expand your timer. You can always just throw coins down and just increase the time on the clock as well. If you start to run out, you can just bung an extra minute on the clock. I've got so many coins in this game now in my pocket that it doesn't.
Which is what I'm doing.
I've got all the time I ever need.
I'd love to just not have that timer at all because it just adds an element of stress that I could do without when I'm playing a nice, happy little Mario game. I think it's
if there was no timer though, you would just have as long as you need to rearrange things. That time mechanic is you're doing it. You've got that pressure. It's kind of like the bomb's going to go off. You've got to diffuse the situation as quickly as you can, and it's great when you do manage to solve it with like 1 second on the clock just before it runs out. That is really satisfying. But that's kind of good, Nathan. They could have taken it out. They could have taken it out completely. But I mean, I played the game for a half hour with my son tonight. We didn't get in any battles. They're not that frequent in the game. They're very easy to dodge characters. When you get a bit powered up, you can just jump on characters and avoid battling them, going into battles with them at all.
Yeah.
So it's I think if you're playing it for review, like a lot of people are, if you're sort of person who just will play it and complete the game in a weekend, I think they'd get really annoying. But the way I'm playing it, I do like kind of 1 or 2 every session we play at most, and they don't really seem to be that much of a bother for me.
I quite like it, and it's nice to be back playing something on Switch. It's a nice bedtime game. But I do maybe because I'm playing it like that. That's why I'm finding those battles a bit stressful because I could do without the timer. But yeah, it's cool. It feels like a good kind of 7 out of 10 game. Nothing special, but
to be fair, I had pre-ordered it, but I cancelled it on the basis of watching sort of videos for the battle system and thinking to myself, can I actually be bothered with learning that system of sort of spinning people round on the board, and then that's really why I having never played a Paper Mario before, maybe some of the negativity initially when people were a bit concerned about what the game was going to be like might have had a part in it as well. But yeah, I don't know if that battle system, I don't know if it's for me.
Strange.
Again, I'm always wanting to say, like, I will gladly be proven wrong, and it happens more times than I would care to admit. But yeah, it's at the moment I don't think it's for me. It's seen that when you can power up and you can jump on a Goomba and get pat. How can't you just do that?
That's what you want to do. In a Mario game, you need to be able to jump. In a Nintendo game, you need to jump. Speaking of jumping and Nintendo, why don't we get into crossing streams, Dan?
crossing streams, and if you hadn't noticed, the Nintendo Jump podcast logo has been at the side of our lovely faces for most of this episode. They are one of my personal favourite podcasts. Can't speak for everyone here, but I think what they do is it's a podcast. It's a podcast for Nintendo players by Nintendo players, and you can really see that sort of the knowledge and the passion that they speak about on a weekly basis for Nintendo games. Nintendo discussion is just it's quite infectious. Their community, I have to say, in terms of how they've built it and how they've structured their main hub, which is their Discord, their community is second to none. That is a place where you can go and there will always be someone there to talk to about games, about whatever you want. Someone will be there to chat to you. It's just such a great place to be in there. Their episodes are generally discussion based. They have a infrequent music episode where members of the community will submit music from whatever game they want. Sergio will generally know what the music is. Daryl and Kevin won't, and it's a sort of hearing Kevin trying to describe the music.
Oh, I feel like I'm on a beach and I'm naked. Yeah.
It's definitely they are what some of my favorite episodes are the music episodes. They also do a game of the month. Every single month there is a poll that goes up on their Discord of which games you want to play. The community votes for it, and then the whole community plays for it for that entire month, and then they review it at the end. So they'll submit the community will submit their comments on a. I think it goes in a poll.
We still need to do that, don't we?
We just copy that.
Copy that idea. We'll think of a better name for it though.
Yeah. And then they review it at the end of the month, and it's just they're so active with their listener base. It really is. It's if there can be anything learned from them, it's just how they've built that community. It really is fantastic. There's lots of in jokes. I mean, I think the 110th episode is going to be this weekend. It'll go live on Monday. Plenty of in jokes over that period of time, and they were also on Desert Island Cartridges episode 25.
Correct.
I have the games here. So Uncharted 2, which was Kevin, Splatoon, which was Daryl, and Sergio for some reason thought it was a good idea to bring on the Dog Island.
And can you guess who didn't make it on?
Yeah. So yeah, that's back in our on the Switch Island archives on this feed. That episode of Desert Island Cartridges. Of all the people who have recommended this, so Zach Bradshaw, our good friend, recommended him listen to the NGP and get involved with the community, and he has really. So I from initially anyway, he said that he was enjoying it. He was part of when Mario Maker first came out. We were all sort of battling on his level.
Yeah.
Until Daryl came in, and so it was myself, you Ben, and Shy. We're all trying to best each other on Zach's level. We got down to like 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Well, myself and Shy got down to 6 seconds. Ben, I think you were at 12 or something.
All right, fuck off, mate.
Yeah, and then Daryl came in and he shaved another few milli off that. Yeah, really recommend it. The Nintendo Jump podcast. If you search for them on Twitter, you'll find a link to their Discord. Definitely get involved there.
Yeah, and if you're in our Discord, Shy Guy and Decoy, I think that's Daryl's name, isn't it?
And so is Kevin. So Wave Too High, he's as well.
And they're quite active in our Discord as well. So let alone their own community, they're active in our community. So yeah,
I think you were partly to blame for Daryl buying an Xbox.
I'd like to think we had a part to play in that. Yeah, definitely. Influencers.
Yes, that's us.
It's a great podcast, and it's actually weirdly, Lewis, I think that's through those guys. I think that might have been where we first started talking to each other.
Way back. Way back, potentially could have been there. Like I said, that community, I always think of that community as like almost like my home online. It's just a great place.
Wow. I mean, that's harsh.
It's like Bonnyrigg, which is my hometown. Yeah, it's
why don't you marry them?
This has been my interview for the Nintendo Jump podcast.
But you should go on their podcast because you've sent like I'll listen to them and I'll hear like, oh, you've sent questions in, you've sent music. You should go and guest on it. You'd be a natural. Get you know, spread your wings a bit, Lewis. Come on.
Come on, mate. Do it.
Come on.
We'll see.
Do it.
Do it. Make it happen.
Do it.
Daryl, I know you're listening. Shy, I know you're listening. Make it happen. Come on. But yeah, that's cool. Very cool. I think have we got anything else? What else do we do on the podcast? Lewis, you normally do this. I'm confused. I'm rattled.
I don't know.
Patreon?
Patreon.
Shout-outs?
I've not done any bin chat.
Have we got the wall?
No bin chat this week.
That's true, actually.
We could just avoid that though.
I mean, we could, but that's really why people turn up, isn't it?
Exactly.
Ooh. I forgot I put my camera on for the Patreon wall. I forgot to change it, so I am doing the Patreon wall. Woo!
Go on then, Dan.
Ready? So
Lucky you're clothed.
I know. Well, from the top upwards. Shall we go with if we say something either nice or nasty about the people as we go down them? That sounds a little
Absolutely.
bit. Sounds very us. Eamon Macaulay. Absolutely nothing. Gamer Jason.
Legend.
Lovely guy.
Lovely guy, isn't he? Thylassus.
Sounds like a Greek
It
philosopher.
does.
Mike Theobald. Prick.
Old.
Prick.
Richard Elsey.
Maverick.
What a twat.
He's alright.
Oh,
Decent enough.
Giovanni
Drinking now.
Pimentel.
1990s football manager.
Yeah, really is. Boss in a game. Tristan Brooks. Nice guy.
Yeah,
Nice
nice
guy.
guy.
Jamie Pennig.
Australian.
Australian.
Well, good day. Sarah Purbrick. I like Sarah.
Difficult to say. Hello
Purbrick.
there.
Purbrick.
Sarah Purbrick.
Speaking of difficult to say, Jesper Condrup.
Nice. He actually dropped us a nice message today, didn't he? Saying how
did.
much he liked Laurie and Nathan's little cross section of Paper Mario.
Yes, thank you.
We'll
for
put
that,
that. Do you know what?
Jessica.
We'll put that on the
appreciated.
main. We'll put that on the main feed. It's too good.
Too good not to. Agreed.
Yeah.
Rebecca Rudranath.
Rebecca Rudranath. I've never said it out loud before.
Haven't it? Do you want to say the rest of them?
Jewelry Jelly in our Discord.
Yeah. Rune Storm.
Sounds like one of your beers, Rich. Sounds like one of your beers.
It does. It does. 13 quid.
Bargain.
Timothy Ulf.
Tim, Nintendo dad, not
Yeah.
Dads After Dark, original Nintendo dads. So he's okay with us.
Less said about that, the
Yeah,
better.
I thi-
Luke Cooper.
Who?
What a prick.
Uh,
No, actually, no, he gets upset. You're not a prick, Luke. I love you. Just stop
He's a
seeing
nice
my
guy,
look.
isn't he? I know, yeah.
From
Stop,
Norwich.
stop doing those deals. He's going to get rinsed. Stephen Landry.
Hey, he's got one. He's nice enough to back us on Patreon. He has a book on Amazon.
Who hasn't
Find
got a book?
Shock Monkey on Twitter, and he'll have a link for his book in there. Dan's holding up an Amazon packet.
Oh, there we go. Laurie's
that
in a
the
book.
What is in the book?
Laurie, you're in a book, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're a
Yeah.
published author now.
Pavanka Kala. Great name.
Sounds like he should be serving ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or he's like a sort of mystic Meg kind of person. He's a tarot card reader.
Or it sounds like
It's
an
a Bond villain.
really,
Bond villain name.
really weird
Or a Zelda
anagram.
boss. Yeah.
Really weird anagram of caravan. Aaliyah Jones.
Lovely.
Massive gamer. Loves it. Oh, this guy. Mark Hammond.
Input lag.
Yeah, I was going to say laggy.
Input slag. Yep.
Formula done. That's what he is.
Hashtag buy a PlayStation.
Hashtag buy PlayStation, you coward. Adam Phillips.
Cal Kestis as a youngster.
He is.
That's the name of the guy from Fallen. What's it called?
Fallen Order.
Jedi Fallen Order. Yeah.
Yeah, he does, doesn't it? That is the chat, guys. That is the Patreon, guys. So thank you very much,
Wow.
patrons.
Thank you.
Big thanks to the patrons.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Like,
And if you
The
would,
most recent one is Jason, is it not?
yeah, we got Jason. You Dan mentioned Jason.
No, he's the most recent, I think.
Yeah.
I was just saying. Most recent.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Gamer Jason,
Okay.
second on the list.
Lovely guy.
He's on there.
I know. I was just saying
Christ.
he's the newest.
Yes.
Let's move on.
Okay, good. If you'd like to be insulted live on air, then feel free to support us at patreon.com/thecrossplayers. Is it the crossplayers?
Yeah.
It is, isn't it? It is. Nailed it. Nailed it. Right. Let's wrap it up, boys. Rich, where can the fine folk find you online?
You can
Plug.
find me at Dreamcast Barber and at Dreamcast Years and at Three Pricks Pod.
You've got a new podcast coming, have you not?
And you can find me on Untapped as well.
Is that true?
True, yes.
Fuck
I don't
yeah.
keep up to date, which is amazing because there's so much potential with my Untapped, but I don't update it.
Untapped
So...
potential.
You don't tap into
Oh,
it.
man.
Oh, Rich, come on.
Come on.
Yeah.
Oh.
Lou Diamond Phillips, where can people find you online?
You can find me online on Twitter at that Dr. Fact or on our lovely Discord. Mooch about there.
Lovely.
I'm
Or
in no
work
other
on your-
podcasts, unlike
Working on
some
your
people.
short stories, of course.
Exactly.
Iron Shrew.
Yeah. Me and Iron Crew are getting together.
Yeah.
We're gonna write some stuff.
Lovely.
You watch out. Be aware.
Laurie, I think you've hit your follower limit, but where can people follow you online? Just in case.
The Eggman 64.
Boom. What's been your biggest tweet of the week?
I think it's one I sent yesterday
That
about
needs
the
to be a
fact.
feature. Dan, we need a feature. Laurie's tweet of the week.
Why not?
What's-
You went a run the other day? Want to take us through that?
No.
That blew up. You were gone for 2 hours and 2.6 kilometers.
My wife was worried about me. Okay.
Just crawling for 2.6k. Fantastic.
And had a big dinner.
Had a big dinner. Wanted to get away from the twins. Producer
So
Dan.
That's a really that's a good picture, Laurie.
That is a good picture.
That's a good picture.
Don't put it on the overlay.
Ooh.
Oh god.
It's there. Dan,
Yeah.
what's your Twitter handle?
I just realised I've really messed my camera up.
He's done. Oh dear.
Where can you find me on Twitter?
Stream closer.
Danny War 2707. Oh, you bugger.
It's not that.
Oh, it's not. Fuck. Shit. At Dan Moore
Head in the
tweets.
game.
At Dan Moore tweets. Ah, Ben, where can we find you on Twitter?
You can find me at Benji Kong. You can find us at the Cross Players. Come and watch this shower of shit every week. Generally Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. UK time. Twitch.tv/the Cross Players Live. Dan, what are you saying?
Sorry. Gamer Jason's just made a really good point. He said, did I miss the competition results for gaming setup? We had to pick someone out of that list. And we keep forgetting to do it. So
Did we pick one, or do you
was-
want us to carry on riffing?
we'll riff for a second, but it was a single guy. I just can't find the tweet.
Okay, you find that
It-
tweet. Rich, talk us through your your podcast, your latest podcast. What's that all about?
My Formula One podcast that I don't bother actually recording episodes for. Yeah, it's great.
Okay, good stuff.
We waited like months for the season to start because of coronavirus, and then when it started, I just got bored. And
Hey.
Andrew and Mark have been doing all the heavy lifting. So
You know
thank you,
what I
Andrew and
found
Mark.
You know what I found out tonight while I was drinking prosecco in the garden with my neighbour Bob, who takes the bins out.
Legend.
He is a cameraman for Formula One, so he actually goes and shoots all of
Think-
the F1
Oh,
races.
I think Rich has
Nice.
found his next guest for the podcast.
Indeed.
I'll try and get him on. Dan, I think you've
Focus.
got a winner of the. Is it a £25 gift card
Yeah.
of their choice?
For their choice.
Who's
He's
the
got a
winner?
Switch, and it's Mark, and his is MJ at mjames_84. So he'll probably be very surprised about this because I don't think he actually thought he was going to win anything. But he had some lovely pictures. Lovely.
This was the quite minimalist one, wasn't it? There
Really
was
minimalist.
pretty
Yeah.
grown-looking gamer setup.
Really grown up kind of. Had a couple of amiibo, nice little Star Wars collection, quite a few little Lego things. He had the entire Zelda encyclopedia and the different art books. Yeah, just really, really cool. And like I said, his setup was quite nice, very feng shui. Wasn't over cluttered. So yeah, big up him. He's going to get a £25 or dollars voucher.
Yep.
There you go.
for PlayStation Store, Xbox,
Whatever
or
he wants.
eShop.
Whatever he
wants.
picks.
Or even, Waterstones, whatever.
Can literally
Yeah.
have what he wants. Waterfields.
Like. Yeah, that too.
We should say-
Nobody said Craig in
No
the
one
chat,
said
so we
Craig.
still can't give away.
Yeah.
That
Game-
competition is ongoing at Rocktober.
If you have an Xbox or a PC, is it just Xbox?
Do you know
The
what?
code?
It's just Xbox. If you just tweet the cross players the word Craig in capital letters, we will give you a month of Xbox Game Pass. Yeah, that's all you need to do.
Mine's coming up for renewal. I might do that just now.
Yeah,
I was going to say I want to do that now just for a laugh, but then that would be useless for me because I'd have an
Just
Xbox.
like, I'm gonna do it. You just rip it up and chuck it in the bin. Tweet it out, and I'll get like I don't know 500,000 likes or something like that.
Yes. Cool. All right, boys. Well, it's been a pleasure, and thanks everyone for listening. Thank you, chaps, for joining me. Let's all say goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Can't be waiting.